Hey everyone, I'm going to try something a little different today. I have been watching videos trying to find somebody who has done something that I've had in mind to try to do, and I can't find anyone who's done exactly what I had in mind. Found some things that are similar, but so I'm just going to wing it. We'll see where it goes. I'll tell you my plan and we'll see what happens. What I want to do is, you all have probably seen some of the landscapes where they've just sort of done these washes of color across. Well, I want to do that, but I want to I want to do something similar, not a landscape. But I want to leave negative space at the top and the bottom. I only want the middle filled in with some colors, and I want to have some good lines, built up ink lines in here to where I can go back over it and put some of the gold foil on. Now I want to take just a fine line brush and the polycrylic today, if I can manage to get a painting that I could do it, and then I'll just use my little color pour foil stuff that I have, the gold foil. Anyway, just paint on with a little fine line brush with the polycrylic, and then stick the gold foil to that, and hopefully it'll stick better. So that I'm not too worried about. What I am worried about is keeping my negative space here and here, but still keeping it, soft looking through the middle, but without being so soft that it's just, one big blended color across the middle. So we'll just see what happens, and maybe I'll be able to come up with something good. Who knows? We'll just give it a shot. Even the people that I have seen, and I'm going to do this one for y'all today without doing a voiceover. I'm just going to talk through it because I don't think I'm going to be using my dryer much. If I do use it, I will try to give y'all some warning so you can turn down your volume so that it won't be very loud in your ears for a minute. Yeah, I don't even know what I was going to say. Oh, I've seen different people do it different ways. Some put alcohol down, some put, ink down, then alcohol over it, and I've just seen so many different things. So I'm trying to decide what I want to do. I think I'm going to start with that. This is just some 91% isopropyl. That's what I've got today. 91% in both of my bottles, my little needle nose applicator bottle, and this is just a little spray bottle that I got off of Amazon, and have alcohol in it. I'm going to try using Teakwood and Shell Pink from Ranger. The Teakwood I really wanted because I really wanted a dark color that I thought would look good with the gold flakes, and I think the brown will look really good, and I just like pink and brown together, so I picked Shell Pink. But this is a very light color, so we'll see. The Teakwood may completely overpower this. I may end up wiping this whole thing and starting all over again with something else. So alright, let's see what I can do. Let me think. Because I want it to run, fairly soft, but I don't want it to spread over the entire paper either. Phew. Fan's not taking the alcohol out of here good today. Y'all can see I'm just trying. I just put a couple of drops there and trying to let it run to the other side. And I've tipped it back the other way because I don't want it to puddle down here at the bottom of the page. So as soon as it hit the bottom, I tipped it back the other way. Try and let it run that way for a minute. I'm trying to let you all see, but that turns it away from me, so it's a little tricky. Right. Still got a little alcohol on there. Let's see how this shell pink is going to do. Start at this end with it. And I want them to be, I'm using like, I don't know, that was probably about 5 or 6 drops of that, because I did want it to be noticeable. And immediately we've got it mixing. Didn't hold my paper very well. Although I do want it to blend a little. I just don't want to get super heavy blending of that in there. Let's see. See, this is what I don't want. If y'all can see that, where I don't want that line right there at the end, if I can help it. Alright, I'm going to turn on the dryer for just a minute. So if you want to turn your volume down for a minute, you'll be able to see when I put the dryer down. You'll know I've turned it off. Okay, so I use that dryer just on low heat, just to kind of get this dried up a little bit, because I didn't want it to blend as easily. And I'd forgotten, I was going to put some of this Pinata brass in there, and I'd forgotten. So, darn it, mix the lids up for my bottles. Well, figure it out later. Sorry, getting some of the, got something on my paper. I've got just a little bit of splatter where I came in a little too close with the dryer to start with. Alright, let's do another, start on this end up here. Gonna try and get some of this shell pink on this side. Sorry, I'm just kind of going, you know, pulling it down through here with a few extra drips here and there. Oops. That's some of this. Ah, lid's in the way. Alright, so I'm giving that a good squirt. And then I'm going to do this. So I'm kind of rolling the paper up there just to keep it from spreading out too much. Trying to get some of that gold over to that outer edge, or the brass, Pinata brass, to the outer edge a little bit. I didn't want it all stuck there in the middle. Oh, excuse me. Alright, see my problem I think is going to come in with these edges like this to try and soften that where I don't really want it in a hard line, but we'll see. I might not have as much trouble as I'm afraid that I will, so we'll see. Alright, I'm going to do another shell pink over here, and I'll probably come back in the middle with some more of the teakwood color. Put a little more brass. Good heavens, that lid aggravate me to death today. Hey, Maddie Pie. I've got a visit from Maddie while I'm working. Sweetie, there's a lot of fumes in here today, so you don't need to stay in here, okay? Thank you, though. Thank you for the compliment. You gonna try one like this soon? Why not? You might like doing this kind better, no dryer. Well, not much, anyway.
Still have to dry it.
No. No, you don't have to. You can let it dry on its own. You don't have to use the dryer with it.
You just choose to.
Right. I'm impatient. I don't want to wait for it to dry.
I don't want to
Right.
see.
Huh?
You want to see it when it's dry.
Right. Alright, sweetie, you need to go out because there's too many fumes in here today. Alright, so just trying to get that dried a little bit, as you heard Maddie and I talking about. But I'm trying to spread that brass again, too. Keep it sort of towards the outside. Can't decide just how thick I want this to be. Don't want it to be super thick. Actually, I think I'm just going to go with all of this right now with the shell pink, and then I may just come back and just run a line or two with the teakwood and see what happens if I do it like that. I mean, alright, I'm going to hit it with the dryer again just for a minute, just on the low heat, just long enough to dry it. Though I do have the dryer turned down on low, so if you're not turning the sound down, maybe it won't be too terribly loud. I didn't want to turn it up on high and have it blow the ink everywhere, since I want to keep it kind of confined in here today. So I'm going a big space this time. I'm using up a ton of ink, I can tell you that. I'm not used to using this much ink on a painting. Ooh, I got runs going everywhere. I probably shouldn't have done that. Alright, so I don't know if you all have noticed, I am not putting alcohol on this for the most part. I mean, I did that initially with the brown, the teakwood, to spread it, but now I am just only using the ink. And partly, the reason for that is partly because this shell pink is so pastel. I know it doesn't look like it right now. That's because I've not mixed alcohol with it. Had I mixed it, you would definitely, definitely be able to tell that it is much, much lighter when it's got alcohol blended with it. Well, I got this end about where I would like to have it. Oops, look where I was blowing on it. Ugh. But that end is not, but that's okay. It's abstract, right? So that's fine. Although, Need to widen this end out somewhere. I think I'm going to put just a little more right here and see if I can widen that just a touch. Just do a couple of drops there. Or 3. A couple or 3. Sorry, I didn't really have enough ink there for the... Since I didn't put down alcohol here, the metallic wants to sit more rather than spread good, so sorry, I know I'm blocking you all. Anyway, that was why I put a little more ink up there, was to help get that brass moving a little. Alright. More little, see if we can make this join up down here just a little. Trying to keep that from dripping on my paper. Alright, pick up some brass. I tell you, those of you who are doing just blowing on your paintings, I don't know how you do it, because I just suck in way too many alcohol fumes, or ink fumes. I don't, this ink does not have a strong smell, but when you're using it in the amounts that I am on here, it is a little overpowering to me. I do not like the way it smells, although I did tell you, it's way better than the Bria Reese brand. There is something about the smell of that brand. I absolutely hate the smell of it. It just makes me almost nauseous to use it if I'm using it in more than just a drop or 2 at a time. Alright, here comes the dryer for just a second. Get that dried just a little. Got water beads. I hate that. Hate these little water beads. There's actually snow flurrying here just a few minutes ago when I came downstairs, so maybe the humidity today has been a problem. But I have noticed that any of the red colors, reds, oranges, or pretty much anything that contains red dye, that whatever they're doing, whichever color it is, if it has red dye in it, it seems like they are much worse to get that water beading. So, not sure what it is about the chemical makeup of that, but it definitely seems to make a difference to me. Alright, so let's see what happens with the teak. Debating on which end to start it on. So I don't want to, wash out everything, but I would like to get at least 2 and maybe 3 lines of it kind of going across there. So let's see what happens. We'll send it down the slide here and see what happens. Actually, I think I am going to put just a drop. Whoa, almost dropped it. So that was about 5 drops of alcohol, which is probably going to be more than I want. But I wanted that, and there went like 2 or 3 more. I didn't want to use so much that it gets super dark. I didn't want to use so much of the ink that it gets super dark. So now I'm using a lot more just because I can't get it to spread. the way I want it to. Can't get it to move. See, what I'd like to have is a smoother edge like that, but the ink does not have that in mind for me today. So, do there. But I also don't want to have this, you know, like I just did there, this super straight, obviously man-made edge. I like the kind of organic look to things a lot of times, so I'm wondering if I should have put a little more brass in with that. Sorry, I'm trying to steer it down the hill. It's eating up I work on one place and I'm not paying attention to another. And I have it going where I don't want it to go. Come here. So now I'm going to kind of let it run down towards the center because I want to get, you know, this line built up just a little bit down through there, because that's kind of where I want to put some of the gold leaf. But I also want it to blend just a little. So, like I said, this may not work at all. Let me put a few drops of this on while that's wet and see what happens here. I might get more of the blending that I'm hoping for. That's softer on the edge. So if you all know of anyone who's done a video that I might can watch where they do this and manage to keep it in the center but still get some blended colors, let me know, because I would really like to figure out how to do this. I'm just kind of leaning it that way a little so I can get some more of that over in there. Keep it, I'm trying to keep it away from this edge some too. Got it a little bit softer. Not quite what I was looking for, but better than the jaggedy look that it was. So I'm just kind of lightly blowing on that, hoping I can get it to dry a little faster, because I've got this huge puddle right here, as you can see. And I want some of this up here to dry with some lines. So let's bring that back up just a touch. Alright, I'm going to hit this with a dryer for just a minute. I'm going to have it on low so maybe it won't be too loud. So you all can see, even with it on low, my paper's buckling just a touch. This is the Grafix craft plastic. So this should actually flatten back out really well once it gets cool. Once I get it off of my bumpy paper towels here too. I'm sure that's pushing it up just a little bit. I wasn't sure how much ink was going to be going off the end, so I was trying to put stuff under there to catch it. I'm wondering, I was wondering how those were going to match with the brass color now that it was on there. Alright, so let's see what we can do with this side. And oops, sorry, knocking stuff over here. I'm going to try this time, I'm going to try putting some alcohol first. Get it kind of flowing down through there, and then do some of the ink back here. Oop, that went. Made its own new loop up through there. Queen Maddie just came in telling me I was supposed to be bowing to her as she came in. Sorry, Your Majesty. That'll have to wait.
What color is that? This one?
Which one? This is Teakwood.
You mean that?
Yes.
Looks like a waterfall.
Mm-hmm.
Sparkly waterfall.
What?
Sparkly waterfall.
Oh, yes, Maddie. I don't know if y'all can hear Maddie or not. She says it looks like a sparkly waterfall. Which it does, actually. Hadn't thought about that till she said it, but she's right.
I'm always right.
Did you all hear that? She is always right. Uh-huh.
Do you like when someone's just staring at you from the wall? So you're smiling.
Alright. And now okay, stop this. I can't remember if I think yeah, put this shell pink over here before the teakwood dries, so I can get kind of some blending there. A little alcohol along the edge and hopefully soften it up. Or make a big old mess. Who knows what's going to happen. The joys of alcohol ink art.
I know what you like about this. You can tell if it's in focus or not.
Mm-hmm. Maddie's just pointing out my my camera setup that my husband and she and Zoe, the three of them, they got me for Christmas. Yes, I can turn I use my phone to video with. I can turn my phone around so that it's facing me so I can see the picture and I can tell a little bit better when I have it in focus. Sorry, trying to get those little spots up. Looks like I've lost some of my pink over here on this side, but that's actually okay. I just want that off. I don't want that. Can't remember what color I had on this last and if I cleaned it good A little bit nervous about using it. I don't want that though. Just use this. Here. Come here. Alright. So, sorry, this is taking a lot longer than I expected it to. I really thought this was going to be, like the painting part would be a lot quicker than this. I was kind of expecting, you know, just squirt some paint down the paper, throw some alcohol on it, you know, swish it around a little, and that was going to be good enough, but it did not work out that way. Ugh, those water spots again. Still got a few. Alright, time to hit it with the dryer. Just on low heat once again, because I want to dry it pretty quickly. This did not turn out the way I wanted it at all, but I'm going to keep on going with it. Just keep on going with it and we'll see what happens. Wondering if I can soften that. Oh, yikes, don't want to do that. Alright, so I probably should have just left that alone. I was trying to soften up that hard edge just a touch. Just barely put a drop of alcohol on this to try to soften that, but I also don't want to make it look really weird, like there's a big line, you know, march across it. So, but that's okay, I can deal with that. So I'll show you, I mean, I just put literally like one drop on there. You gotta be really careful when you first start with it too, because it does, I mean, you still have a decent amount of alcohol on it if you go back and try to do this with anything, and it will eat out more than you want it to if you're not really careful. Alright, so I'm going to leave that like it is for now. So, here's a tip. If you get your ink bottle lids mixed up like I just did, I usually try to only take off one lid at a time. I was not being real cautious about that today. All you need to do is get a Q-tip, which I keep handy anyway, and just put a drop of ink down in your lid and do that. So, or yeah, sorry. Thank you, Maddie. Maddie's correcting me. A drop of alcohol in your lid, and then just run that Q-tip in there, and you can see that's the one that goes on pink, on the shell pink color, because all of them are going to have a little spot of alcohol down there, or a spot of ink down in the lid just from being shaken up and things in the bottle. So that's a good way to figure it out, because you don't want to put, you know, a dark brown lid on a light pink bottle, because you are going to run the risk of getting a little bit of brown down in there and changing the way it looks. Alright, so let me see, how do I want to turn this, see which side I want to mess with I don't know. I almost like it just like it is, honestly. But, well, one of the things I was thinking about doing was trying to follow, like, some of this, where that's out in there, and that, and come down here with some flakes. We'll see. We'll see. Even though I'm hesitant to even mess with that, because it's actually, the more I look at this one, the more I really like it. I think it's just really cool, just like it is. And as the ink dried and it separated some, you know, you got this kind of color gradient that went down there. And some of this is actually, it was caused by the water beading that I had. So, it's actually, it's pretty cool. Let me hold it up there where you, oops, maybe y'all can see. I can't tell good if the light is on it or not. The light is so bright in here, I'm having a hard time seeing my screen. So, but if you can kind of see the darker pink areas, yeah, that's where I got some of the water beading up in here, coming up through here. And that's part of what did that. So maybe that was one of those happy little accidents. We'll see. But I am going to do some polycrylic on this with the gold flakes, just because I wanted to show you all. Do it this way. And I'm trying to remember who told me about this using the polycrylic. One of you all did. One of you all, I want to say it was either Shaz or Carrie D, I think. One of you all, seems like it was one of you all. They're my Australian viewers. So thank you to whoever it was that told me about using this polycrylic to put that down there. I'm really sorry. I really should have checked that before I started this. Alright, so what I'm concerned about is I don't want to lose the dark, because that to me is sort of what makes it look good. Nice. I can go inside here, but I don't think I'd like that. Maybe I should go inside this kind of gold area. Let's try that. Let's do that. See what happens. And I'm probably going to make a ginormous mess. This is not my thinnest brush, I don't think, but it's the one I grabbed, so that's what I'm going to use. So, I'm just going to come right down through here. I'm not going to go too far at one time, because the polycrylic does dry fairly quickly. It's not like alcohol ink, but it does dry fairly quickly. And
gold.
I'm going to stick that right on there. I'm trying to get a little bit of long pieces there, because I want it to have a more continuous look, hopefully, as it comes down through there. What I was thinking was how pretty this or one done. See, I'm sort of overlapping right there, because I want my, I don't want to end up with an accidental space, so I kind of put a little of that on the gold foil that I already had down. So I am going to have to go back and sweep this off. It's not going to look like this once I'm done. Once I'm going to let it sit for just a little bit to dry. And then I'll come back and sort of sweep off the excess. Next time I use this polyacrylic, I'm probably going to be wondering why it has bits of gold foil in it. So I hope I haven't bored you all to death with all my weird thought processes and things today. I know this one's kind of dragging on a little, but hopefully we will all learn a little bit from this. And that's the important thing, because that's why we're all here, right? The more videos that I have made too, I also feel like the better I have gotten, partially thanks to you all, because some of you all will have tips for me and ideas, things, you know, other videos that I might be interested in watching, or, you know, so, and I really appreciate it, because sometimes even if I don't learn a new technique, it gives me ideas for things that I would like to try. That's a little bit different than whatever the person that I was watching does. So I really do appreciate it. And I really appreciate all of you all that watch and, you know, click like on the videos. It's always fun to see that I've gotten some likes on the videos and the comments. You all always have the nicest comments. Very complimentary, even on things that I don't necessarily feel should be complimented. Some of the stuff that I'm not that happy with, you all have had some very nice things to say. And you, what, have had nice things to say? Yes, Maddie is my biggest fan. Every time I do anything, Maddie says, "Can I have that one?" So, it's 1,000 wonders I have anything left that's not Maddie's. Because she wants every piece of art I do. Doesn't matter what it is. Or maybe she's just trying to butter me up and keep me happy so that I'm more likely to say yes if she asks for something or gets in trouble, and, you know, she'll think I'm going to be in a really super good mood, so she won't get in as much trouble. Maybe that's it. Maybe I'm being played by a 9-year-old. Might be. She said might be. Might not. She's down here at my feet, coloring a little bit now that I'm done with the heavy alcohol part here. I didn't want her in here much with the fumes. They were so strong. Don't like the girls breathing it. Don't like me breathing it. One of these days I'm probably going to break down and get a respirator, but right now I do okay. I turn on 2 vent fans that are in the ceiling. There's one in this room. Excuse me. There's one in this room and one in the room right next door. So I turn on both of those fans, and when the weather's permitting, I open a window, and sometimes I actually even turn on like a rotating floor fan. It kind of depends on what I'm doing. Oops. I'm having trouble getting these. I think I got some polyacrylic on my glove, my fingertip there. Trouble getting them to come off of my glove. big long one. I wish I had, and I'm probably going to get some, I wish I had some of the sheets of gold foil, because then I could just paint my line down through there and slap the sheet on there, let it dry, and then come back and peel off everything that, ooh, yikes. It's peeling off from the polycrylic. That's not good. I was just trying to pull up a little bit of loose right there, and I pulled up the whole thing. Yeah, that's cute.
The dog looks a little crazy.
So I think what I'm going to do for you all, I'm going to finish this in fast motion, because I'm still going to go down through here, and then I'm going to come all the way down through here with this gold foil. So I'm going to fast motion this so that you all don't have to sit here for half an hour and watch me do this. So I'll just speed it up while I get through that part, and then that's all I'm going to do to it until it dries. So I will let you all watch the quickie version of finishing that, the gold foil, and then I will be back once I get that done and let it dry for a little while. I'll be back to let you all watch me sweep this off, and we'll see what we have underneath here. Yeah, it's on. Because this part I'm not going to have any sound on. I just this is going to be the part that I fast forward when I do my editing. It'll be sped up really fast, so if I left my voice on talking, it would be like, so I'll just turn the volume off on it when I edit it. Yes, I can talk to you now all you want while this part's going on. True. Except I never did like it when my pictures did that. That used to make me mad when they bleed through. So I liked coloring with colored pencils or something better. It seemed like they didn't do that so bad.
Or it's like super light. Why don't they make invincible paper when it doesn't need glue? Why don't they make that?
Invincible?
Huh?
Like, I don't know what you mean by invincible. Like unrippable?
Yes, and it can't be glued to the other page.
Well, I mean, they do. It's just not actually paper. Well, some of it is. But it has to be super thick stuff. And it's just very expensive to make things with the thicker paper. So companies don't much want to do that just for coloring books for kids, because parents don't want to pay $10 or $15 or more just for a coloring book that has a...
How much coloring books are?
Well, the grown-up ones are. The ones with the really cool patterns like you all like, they can be.
I don't like them.
Oh, you don't like those patterns?
I like the patterns, but my arm and hand and everything is too tired to color them.
Well, you don't have to finish it all at one time, you know.
No, when my body knows it's going to take a long time, and I just do a minute of coloring. Like this with, maybe, like this with designs. If I did this much coloring with designs, my
why does it make your whole body tired?
Actually, no, it just makes like all the What are you doing again?
What am I, what?
What are you doing?
I'm putting this polycrylic varnish on here because it's sticky. It'll act like a glue.
Or you could just use a glue stick.
I could, but a glue stick would be very wide, and I want this to be narrow.
Okay. And going back to coloring.
Okie dokie. I'm going back to painting on varnish. Sticking on some gold foil.
No, it's probably not in
Because we're not up there.
Well, me, not you. He wants you down there. See, just like me. See, wants you up there, not down.
Oh, careful. There's glass stuff on that shelf too.
What's that? Just some paper. I think there's only these.
I think so. I think it just shook that stuff over there. Shook the vases against each other.
Maybe do you like this color purple?
Mm-hmm.
Is it your favorite color purple?
It is definitely one of them. I just like pretty much every color of purple though. Every shade of purple.
The tone dark. I don't like that tone dark. I have a tone darker because I had to cut over to get the spots on the glasses. But if you don't cut it over, it stays off. It's like US color.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I want?
What's that, babe?
I want Joanna to come to this.
Mm.
You probably want her to because you know how to talk. No one talking to you except Mama. Mama probably will stay
he's pretty bad to get on his phone in restaurants. I have to fuss at him every now and then
But
for
it
that.
was a good restaurant that you don't want to bring us to.
I would like to bring you all to good restaurants. You just have to be on your best behavior, though. Cannot tell how far I went down with paint. That's good. Alright. Yeah, is Papa home?
No.
Oh, I just heard something up there. I thought it was him. If you will brush your hair.
I did. It won't come out. The tangles won't come out. And my head's fuzzy because I did it. I brushed it. Looks like kind of
Please
rotten
don't play
milk.
with that.
Does it, Zoe? Rotten milk. Maybe you're using rotten milk.
It's more like coconut milk or something to me than rotten milk.
That looks like the Grand Canyon. And I bet the people that are watching probably think so too.
They can't watch right now, Zoe.
They are watching, just I'm not going to have any
What does this
of the
do?
sound on
Maybe
this
what
part.
does this do? It is two buttons. Bye.
I really don't know. Bye, Zoe.
They do nothing. Maybe. Can I do some of this now? I tossed back here one day. My hair.
You have to do something about your hair.
I did.
Look, I'm almost done with this part. I'll come work on it, okay? What? Oh, that said Mimi.
Wait, you could answer it. Stop it, because you're doing
So, I got that stuck down now. And I am going to let it sit for, I don't know, maybe an hour or so. Because I really don't know how long I should let this sit to dry. Probably read the, let's see, it can be recoated after 2 hours. So, we'll see. But I will let it sit for a while and then I will come back and we'll do the reveal and see how it looks. See you guys shortly. Alright, it is about almost 2 hours later. I got a little busy. Took me a little bit time to get back. So this should be good and dry and ready to take off here. I found another just old makeup brush that's never been used. So I'm going to try that with this and see. And yeah, that's going to work. Wasn't sure. So we'll see. We'll do the unveiling. I'm kind of scrubbing at it a little bit because I don't want a bunch of loose flappy pieces left on there. Let's see, I still can't make up my mind about whether I like this painting or not. Sometimes I look at it and really like it, and then I look at it and think, yeah. And I think it's mostly, like I said, just because it's not what I wanted it to be to start with, but it's similar. So you have to start somewhere. I'm going to dump some of this off, so get it out of the way. Whew, you'll be breathing it. It's going everywhere. Well, it's snowing white snowflakes outside and gold flakes inside. So if you do this, make sure you do it with something soft because you don't want to scratch your paint, your ink. So this is a super soft, just like blush brush or a mineral powder type brush. See some spots where my foil is actually coming off in here, and I think that may be, some of that may be places where I put the Liquitex down in too long of a spot at one time. Tab sticking up there, couldn't get loose. And it had dried just a little too much. Now if you want to make sure you don't have that, just go back over it again, and all you got to do is stick you some more, brush a little more Liquitex on and go back over it with the little piece of gold foil there where you've got spots if that happens and you rub too much of it off. Every time I think I've got it, I keep seeing more. Alright. Let's see if we can get this cleaned off a little to tell what it looks like. I've got static electricity going on it right now. It's the foil is clinging. All right, I think I've got off about all that I can get off there at the moment. I say that and then I start scrubbing at it again, sorry. So, might need to clean up just a little piece or two, but we'll, I really like the way that that looks. If I just could come up with a painting that I was really happy with, I think I would really like doing this way. You all see kind of what it looks like. Oops. Now the shimmer that you're seeing out here, this is the Pinata brass, and there's a little bottom there too, or yeah. But then all this in the middle is the Pinata brass. The only the edges around that are the gold foil. So I don't know. I'm thinking maybe I might go. I think I'm gonna do some more gold foil on this. I won't make you all watch that. You have seen how I do it, but I will show you what it looks like at the end of the video, because I think I'm gonna do a little more, and I may have to ponder on this for a little bit to decide exactly where I want it to go. So, but anyway, at the end of the video, I will come back and show you all what I ended up with. So, so I hope you like it anyway, and I will be back with a finished version shortly. Okay, now, this is what I've ended up with about, 3 days after the last little part that I made of this video. I have just had the craziest time trying to find time to paint or do anything that wasn't just, absolutely had to be done right then. So this is what I ended up with. It's very different, but I actually like it. This is one of those that's kind of, the more I look at it, the more I like it. It's way far from my usual style, but that's okay. I like to do different every now and then. And I think that I may resin this one, because I think this would look really cool under resin to really bring out some shine and depth and stuff to it. I have some wooden panels, just like the cradle board panels that are 12 by 12, which is the exact size of the paper that I'm using. So I may just attach it to that and try resining it. Be the first time that I have tried doing resin on an alcohol ink. If that's something that you all want to see, let me know. I will hold off on doing it until I see if there's even any interest in it, because, it's probably going to be somewhat boring. Just watch me mix up resin and pour it over this and let it go. Well, I'll attach this to the panel. But I will be glad to film the process of doing that if that's anything you all would be interested in seeing. So just let me know, and you know, I'll decide whether to do that or not based on any response I get in the comments, if people would like to see that. So anyhow, that's it. You know, pretty happy with it. It's different, but it's also really cool in kind of a way. It almost looks like sort of an abstract landscape, which is something that I have actually been wanting to try to do, but I don't know, I get so caught up in my own style of alcohol inks that I do, that I just enjoy doing so much that it's very hard for me to switch to something else. So, but anyway, you can see what I did. I just followed some of the lines and the colors. I did hide, right through here was one of those extremely dark pink lines that I couldn't decide if I liked the way that it looked. So it seemed like it made a really good line for me to go along with the gold foil with. But I did the rest of this process off camera the same way that I had done what you all saw. Just used my paintbrush and put down some of the polycrylic and then stuck the flakes to it. Which, yeah, those of you who watched this, you know, the video and saw just me doing that small section, I know you're very relieved that I did not show you the entire thing because it took forever. So, alright, well that's it for this one. Let me know if you would be interested in watching the process or learning with me, because this will be something I have not done before. So if you'd like to learn along with me and see what I can come up with as far as mounting this on a wooden panel and then resining over top of it, just let me know in the comments. If you like this, you know, give me a thumbs up on the video. I always love seeing those, knowing that you all like what I'm doing, what I'm seeing, or what you're seeing. And, you know, if you haven't subscribed, one of these days I'm going to get my tongue fixed to where I can get words out. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, you know, consider subscribing and click that notification bell. That way you'll be notified whenever I do upload a new video. And we would love to have you join us here in our little group that follows along my interesting journey with these alcohol inks, and occasionally a few other things thrown in as well. Alright, I will be back with y'all soon. I hope y'all have a good day. Bye. Okay, well, I would be back with you all soon if I can figure out how to cut off the video. It's not working. Okay, hopefully, I'm going now.